Hi, you're with India Post Live, India's first online news conversation web TV. I'm Ishan Russell, and India Post is, of course, a forum for you to participate in. So come in via social media. You can use Twitter, hashtag India Post Live to your tweets, or use our Twitter handle at India Post Live, or use Facebook to get in touch with us. We have a Facebook page. You can go there, like it, comment over there in case you want to post a picture or a video. Most welcome to do so. Get in touch with us, talk to us, and you can watch this video live, of course, on IndiaPostLive.com as we're streaming live right now. And if you're watching it later, well, there are other videos for you to check out as well on a whole host of issues. So see those, participate, send us a participation request, and you can come in via Skype and Google Hangout and really be the expert and make your own comments. And in case you want to write your own comments, well, there's a wall over there on India Post Live as well. So do come and participate on the show that we are talking about today. Well, we're talking about a statement that was made by the new or the new chairperson of Infosys, the new CEO of Infosys, Vishal Sikka, who said that rather than watching reality shows these days, they should instead focus on math. And that's made an entire controversy erupt around it. What exactly is all this about? Well, let's take you through the story first.
At a time when reality shows are ruling the roost on Indian television, Infosys CEO-designate Vishal Sikka has come down on the culture of children being glued to these shows. The former SAP AG Executive Board member chosen to head Infosys says that unlike his time, there is an incredible fascination for singing and dancing amongst kids, and it's time to shift focus from the likes of Nach Baliye to curriculum-related math and science. This has led to a debate on social media. Where does one draw the line between encouraging children to pursue their passion and taking their studies more seriously?
Alright, so it is indeed a fine line, and many of the people who tread that fine line are with us today. Diksha Manwani is here. She is the director of EduVeda, that's a preschool. Thanks very much for coming in, Diksha. We also have with us Vineet Bakshi. He's the managing director of Grasshopper Design, and is the father of a 7-year-old daughter who's pretty creative and will be giving us perspective from there. We also have Janvi Khanna. She's a student who will be joining us, and Sana is the founder of Soul to Soul Academy. Ria is also with us. Ria is a student as well, and we'll be joined by other people as well, including Sabina Kadam, who's a professional at the Sara India Network, and her son participated in Saregama. So we'll be talking about that. But Diksha, what do you make of this? I mean, should children, I mean, I don't want to focus on Vishal Sikka and what he says, but the larger issue at hand over here of whether you know how influential TV has become. You have a lot of kids going to dance academies, pursuing alternate sort of career-driven sort of growth.
Is that really a small percentage which actually pursues this as a career, right? As far as dance as an art form is concerned, I think it's only complementary to improving your performance in math and science. Because if you take dance as an art, it gives your body a workout, it gives your mind a workout, and art really satisfies the soul as well. So I think a person who is actually expressing themselves artistically can stretch their mind and improve their performance in anything else that they are doing. So I think they both go hand in hand and are complementary, and we can't really, outdo one against the other, right? So that being said, yes, the excessive mania, emotions, attached with reality shows, there's a very small percentage of people who are actually going to make careers out of this, correct? So what I feel Vishal Sikka did not really mean dance as an art form or as an extracurricular activity. What he meant was that, maybe time could be used more constructively, is what I take away from it.
And would you agree that time would be more constructively spent if kids do not, they pursue dance as a hobby rather than as wanting to participate in a contest
so
or
if children were to
something?
actually go out there and dance, I think it's a major plus, and I would encourage that. But if they were to, glue themselves to television and become couch potatoes, I think I would also be concerned.
Alright, Vineet, but at the end of the day, if Michael Jackson had pursued math at the age of 10 or 11, then the world would be a very different place. So, there is a fine line, and where does one tread on this?
Well, I think, for Michael, I think it was in his family, his brothers and everybody was doing it, so it was the thing to do. But I think to excel in anything, you have to have discipline, right? Now, it is up to you to have the exposure, because at any given point in time, we're exposed to anything and everything around us. There are things that influence us more than the other things. Now, I believe that if our aptitude is towards that thing, even if it is not math. Because let's face it, it's a case of demand and supply. In the traditional days, they were like, okay, what do you want to grow up to be? Let's make him an engineer, or him or her an engineer, doctor, or whatever. It was the chosen profession, it was the way to do it. But today, because of the demand for a lot of things, because of the ways of consumption of media, entertainment, and a whole lot of other things also, which make you money. I mean, you've got YouTube, you've got people on YouTube who've got their channels, gone on to do other things, make a lot of money by just being themselves. And I think that's what it's all about. Sure, it's nice to have a balance and things like that. Excess of anything is bad. You have to be smart at the same time. But to be able to exercise the option to go in the other direction, I think that's where the thing is. You have to invent. We're growing. Look at the technology around us. If we'd stuck to the traditional ways, it wouldn't be the way it is. It's because somebody said, yeah, there's a market for this. Let's do this. Now, if I talk about me, I went and became an engineer in electronics and telecommunications. I did it for a year. It was no fun. Pursued my passion. Running a design studio is not bad. No formal training, nothing. Wherever your interest lies, focus on that. And if you're dedicated and you're disciplined, and discipline does come from studies, so
No, discipline, I'm sorry, but discipline does come from dance as well. I'm a trained dancer, and I can tell you the amount of hard work it is if you're actually doing a structured classical form of dance. It's tremendous discipline.
Yeah, I mean,
And it's a real art. It's valuable. It's very, very tangibly valuable.
That's
Yeah.
exactly what I said. But you see, what happens is, when we grow up, just like religion, studies are something that are just thrown on us. You learn discipline in school before you even learn to dance. Dance is something that children love doing by default. It is not taught to them. From the minute they can walk, you put on some music and they'll be bouncing in your thing. I know, I have a 7-year-old. I've gone through that phase. It's lovely.
Sure, yeah.
And it is there. So that is something that does not need to be taught. It's inherent.
Exactly. Yeah.
So that is the thing. But discipline is something that you learn in school, and then you take that and apply it to the other stuff. Everybody can
All
figure
right,
that
but
out.
is a mountain being made out of a molehill? I want to go across to a student. Let's go across to Ria. Ria, what do you make of it? The fact is that if you're really good, no matter what age, you might as well go pursue Nach Baliya or whichever show you want, whether an X Factor or a Indian Idol. I mean, if you're that talented, why not?
Hi, Ishan.
Hi.
I feel it's all about interest. I mean, if you can learn from anything you watch, be it a comedy show, a dance show, a music show, or even a Bonvita quiz contest. Everything teaches you something or the other. If you watch Bonvita, for example, of course you can learn. You can have you can learn academics from it. But if you see comedy nights with couple, you can become a stand-up comedian, which is also a very good profession these days. Why not pursue what you are interested in rather than doing what the world is doing? Why follow the world when you can create your own rules? That's what I feel.
All right, let's get another. Janvi Khanna is also with us. Janvi, what would you make of it? Would you if you had the talent, do you have any particular talent that you would pursue rather than studies? What do you think?
Yes, I mean, I have a talent which is dance. I love dancing. I have learned dance and I really have interest in it more than studies. But then again, like, I don't care though what others think that, yeah, she's not going to studies and she's always dancing and all. But in the end, studies also matters because then if you don't pass, what would you do after that? You don't know, right? You need to get into a college and get education. So.
No, but then at the end of the day, if you're really into dancing, how many hours do you dance a day versus how many hours do you study? I mean, to put things in perspective.
I do dance I do 3 hours when I get back from school. I go for dance classes and even I have tuitions too. And if I tell my mom that I want to dance and like pursue it, she'll be with me, but she would also say you need to be good in studies as well. And then tuitions, because of tuitions, I can't really go into dancing.
All right, so, but do you feel limited by that in any way in terms of opportunity and how much of an influence for you and your generation, I mean, not just individually, but even amongst your friends, how influential are these reality TV shows like a Nach Baliye or an X Factor or an Indian Idol?
Yeah, you actually, if you see those shows, you really want to get in them if you have interest in like those sort of activities there. And yeah, I think people, if they watch more reality shows, they will like be like, yeah, I think I can get there, and would want to pursue it.
All right, but Ria, would you
Shah-
concur? Yeah.
She said that education is very important, but I feel why not take the education in the field in which you want to go? Like if I want to go into dancing, why not take education in dance? And what's the point of doing maths and science or studying history as a matter of fact?
Can I may
Yeah.
I now? I think the way we do education and the kind of expectations and the kind of pressure we have attached to education is what is making education so boring. You know, maths is fascinating. Science is fascinating. All of this, you know, it's just how it's being expressed and how it's being taught. And as an educationist, let me tell you, we follow multiple intelligences. You know, the approach that's been, the theory has been designed by Howard Gardner. He's a Harvard University professor. So he says that, you know, you just spoke about your mom. I think Janvi just spoke about her mom saying you've got to be very good in studies as well. But you know, human intelligence has been divided into 8 parts, and you know, there is spatial intelligence, there is linguistic intelligence, there is mathematical intelligence, and you know, there is intelligence for somebody who's dancing really well. Somebody like Sachin Tendulkar, that's body smart, that's physical intelligence. So you know, I think there's undue pressure, yes, in our society, which is being laid on, you know, linguistic and mathematical intelligences, whereas those are just 2 intelligences out of 8, and all 8 should be nurtured, and the child could have predominantly. We have these.
You have the
small
advantage
measures.
of running your own institution and thinking like that, but conventional education does not
Yes.
allow perhaps that much space.
Well, it's not. If I may, you know,
Yeah.
I don't think it's conventional education. Let's face it. If you have to hire someone tomorrow, what do you look at? You look at educational background. So yes, education is important simply because if the other passion or whatever you're trying to do doesn't work out, there's always something to fall back on as long as you have the basic requirement. I mean, nobody's going to give you a job if you haven't even gone to school, right? You might be a good person, but actually it'll be a point of somebody taking a chance on you simply because you don't have the pre-required requisite.
You would want to look for a job in your field, right?
But what if you're not successful there? Then what? You have to have a plan
then
B.
you chose the wrong field.
That's what I'm saying. So that is why education, I
A
think,
basic
is
education,
important. Yes,
yeah.
you have to have. I passed.
Yeah.
You know, I think that's enough. So
Yeah.
even if you want to devote more time to that, but it is important to have like a backup plan. And so if nothing works out, hey, you could work somewhere while trying to pursue your passion and taking that money and fueling your passion rather than not really being able to do anything. You know, and that is important because obviously the pressure of parents and all, you're not working, get out of my house. I mean, come on, let's face it.
All right, so I mean,
It's basic practical advice, yeah.
Yeah, but how influential?
That's not what big dreams are made of, are they?
Yeah.
We're talking about big, you know,
Yeah, but
reality TV and
how
all of that.
influential are these reality TV shows? I mean, you tend to preschoolers, and I mean, is it influential at that level also?
It's not actually not that much, and we don't advise too much screen time for children below the age of 3, to be very honest. And we want education to be holistic. So like I said earlier, rather than somebody being glued to television and watching reality TV, I would really want that person to go out, join a dance studio, and actually
But just
learn
out
that
of
skill and do
curiosity,
it.
I mean, the TV might not be accessible, but then the iPad and the computer and all. I mean,
That's a different debate altogether.
Yeah,
but we as a school, we focus on building real skills. We want children to play in mud with sand, do a lot of clay modeling, and do real stuff. So we want to encourage that, and we think screen will come later because technology is moving fast, and that's where the future is. And it's inevitable. They would use it and they would master it as well. But I think until the age of 4 or 5, we could do with very limited screen time, and iPads should not replace parents because we see that happening a lot. You take this and let me have some free
eat your
time.
food.
Yeah,
But
that's a big debate.
Vineeta, more a hypothetical question to you. You have a daughter who's very creative and talented, but if she had an exceptional talent, would you let her pursue that? Would you actively allow that to happen more than an education, or would you even homeschool if that was the requirement for her to pursue her talent? I mean, what would you as a parent do?
I think I would encourage her to pursue her talent honestly because having seen the world evolve and especially our country evolve in the last couple of years, it's not really important to have that all-important certificate because if you're talented and if you have family backup which says, okay, if this doesn't work out, this is it, I can provide for you. And I think I'm in that position, me personally, to be able to provide that backup and fund it. Okay, you go and try your
But then,
dreams.
on the other hand, there would be many parents who would see a child's talent as their way out of if they're in some kind of trouble as well. I mean, that is what often, in these reality shows, I mean, that is what is shown to us, a 10-year-old coming in saying that I need to provide for my mother and my father and everything. And so that kind of an attraction, I mean, that kind of...
Obviously, it's there. I mean, if you look at it, I mean, come on, let's look at all the pop stars. You mentioned the show with Michael Jackson. Let's see how many others are there. How many of them actually have like a proper education?
Hardly any.
Yeah, they've got that talent. They're being coached. Somebody decides the way they look. Somebody decides what they have to say. Somebody writes the songs for them. Somebody tells them how to sing. I mean, everything is there. It's a brand. You set up a brand, you sell it, it works, and everything is there. You know, so at the end of the day, like I said, it's business. And if you're able to be a part of that new business rather than the traditional one, why not? Because the population is only growing. There are more avenues opening up. People are becoming billionaires by launching alternative forms of consumption, even iPads and all. Eventually, you have to cater for it. They are going to go to the iPad. They are going to want their own phone. I mean, in our days, we didn't know what a phone was. Now, every 10-year-old has it. Yeah. You know?
But you know, it's not really building any skill. Yes, you have calculators, but what about your own skills which help you calculate things?
Let's take it to another place.
Overstimulation with technology is not very healthy in early years,
Yeah,
because
but if you
early
look-
years you're building your own skills.
Absolutely, but if you look at the American system, and okay, we've got this gentleman who's become the CEO, and he has his views and things like that. But if you look at all the other companies, they're Europeans, they have an alternative form where they've grown. Their cultures and societies are very different from us. Does that mean they're not successful? Yes, they are. Does that mean they're not heading big corporations? Yes, they are. You look at Steve Jobs. Apple is the biggest brand. Did he stick to the traditional way? No. Look at Microsoft. Bill Gates, did he stick to the traditional way? No. He invented, he did something. The very gentleman who is a part of that organization is going against the ethos of what the whole philosophy of that gentleman was. He pursued his passion, he got kicked out of school, he started his whole thing in a garage, he went and made it work. I think that says it all. I don't think there's anything more to say in the way
Sure,
it works.
if you have an interest and you have a talent,
That's
you
what we
must
said.
pursue it. I think, but he's talking largely how we were just discussing
Yeah.
the backup, the practical advice that's needed. That's where you said the parents also create that pressure. I think that's where Vishal Sikka is coming from.
All right, I want to get a perspective from Sana. Sana is the founder of Soul to Soul Academy. That's a dance studio. And Sana, I've been seeing the... Sana, are you there? All right, we lost connection. We'll try to re-establish that. But all right, let's get into more student voices. Ria, you've been listening in on this conversation. Would you have anything to counter or anything to agree upon? Or
I would like to say that he said that to follow your passion, you must also have a backup in life. But I don't really agree to that, because if you have a passion, I don't think you need anything else to be successful in life. If you have your passion, you will, I think, work hard to achieve in every possible way to achieve what you want. And you know, once you have a passion, you know where you want to see yourself down in 5 years or something. But it is very important to have a passion in life. It can be of maths, it can be of becoming an actress, it can be of becoming an anchor, whatsoever. But passion is important.
absolutely,
that-
passion certainly
Passion is important, but like I said, you know, not everybody who aspires to be an anchor or set up their own thing are really successful in that particular way. You know, so I think everybody now has to realize it, simply because there's a lot more competition. I mean, in the earlier days, there weren't so many people, but now they are. So I think one has to be ready for that as well. So if you're willing to take the chance, yeah, I think it's all the best.
No, but then it's always a devil's choice. I mean, and what would you do? I mean, either you think you believe enough in your own talent and decide to pursue that, or you take a softer route. But how difficult? Sana, are you there?
Yeah, hi.
Hi. So let's get a perspective in from Sana, because Sana, I mean, I'm sure a lot of kids come to you saying that I want to participate in a dance show, and how do I get ready for that? And have you yourself tried? What do you make of this entire thing?
I'm sorry, I couldn't really follow the conversation till now. And I'm so sorry about the background noise. I'm actually in a public place, but
Not
I
a
really
problem,
wanted to
not a
get in on
problem.
the conversation.
Yeah, just go ahead and tell us your views as far as the entire matter of the fact that reality shows, are they too much of an influence and are detrimental to education? I mean, you run a dance studio, and I'm sure kids come to you asking and to be trained for reality shows.
Right, the thing is that, I wasn't very clear on the topic when I first heard it. And I thought that it was more or less you're trying to tell us to focus completely away from dancing and all these TV and just focus completely on maths. I think that's what somebody told me when they called me up first. But personally, I don't support reality shows at all, and I think that they are more of a gimmick. But then again, I've seen a lot of talent uprise from these reality shows that wouldn't have been possible any other way. A lot of people from all these small towns do come in, and there is no other possible way for them to get a platform like this had it not been for the reality shows.
Right. Interesting.
So definitely, in that sense, I definitely want more reality shows to come up, considering if they give opportunities to people like these. I mean, I personally am a very passionate dancer, but I wouldn't enter one of these shows for very personal reasons again.
All right, fair enough. So, I mean, various points of view, but the unanimity seems to be the fact that if you have the talent, might as well pursue it. If you
Yes.
don't, well, then you better have an alternative.
Yes, and I think it's complementary. I think if you pursue your passion, it's complementary to anything else that you want to do in life or the success you achieve in life.
Right.
See, I'm also somebody who's trained in finance, right? And I did private equity and all of that, but I ended up with children because my passion is that I love children and I love doing what I do. So, eventually I think the passion takes you and gets you the success. If you're sincere and honest about your work, there's no reason why it will not pay off eventually. That's my view.
Not everybody is successful. Not everybody's a billionaire. Let's face it. We all want to be billionaires. Are we? Will we ever be?
Then let's not focus on
find
money. Let's
joy in work,
let's
joy
find
in
joy
learning,
in
yes,
joy in
yes.
life and joy in being. I think.
Yes, joy in learning, joy in education, joy in your work, and I think it'll take you places.
The little joys of life, I think, is what we all need to discover. On that note, I'll wrap this conversation now because we've actually, I mean, it's not really a consensus, but then the point that we've, I think, unanimously agreed upon can be said that reality shows, as long as they're inspiring, good. If they become an obsession, they're bad. As far as math is concerned, even an obsession with math is bad. As long as you enjoy
Mix math and reality shows, and that's a new concept.
Yes,
right
I
there.
think we should do
Are you
that
smarter than
as
a quiz game? Something like
educationists.
that used to happen, I remember.
Yes.
So more quiz shows perhaps? I mean, I used to be really fond of them and used to follow them very actively. Thank you very much, Vineet and Diksha, for coming
Thank
in.
you.
And thanks very much, Ria, Sana and Janvi for coming in and sharing your perspective with us. Well, so what do you think as far as reality shows versus math is concerned, as you are calling it? Not really kind of a battle over there, but then, I mean, if you have the talent, would you pursue it? If you have a talent, do certainly share it with us. We'll try to share it with the world. We'll try to do a little bit to help you with your talent. But meanwhile, also go ahead and get that education. But don't remember to lose passion. Thanks so much for joining us.